Winners will be rewarded in August and September, so keep checking your points by simply dialing *120# and be on your way to a sweet reward for shopping safe and using Momo. Just Momo it. We there for you everywhere you go.
25 years of bold and fearless journalism. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios here in Kokomlemle. Is our digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country including Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, ATL FM in Cape Coast, and A1 Radio in Bolgatanga. We're also around the world live on myjoyonline.com. In this edition, as the governing NPP and opposition NDC tout each other's superior infrastructural records, NDC flag bearer John Mahama challenges President Akufo-Addo to a debate on the record of their governments.
But it's easy to settle the issue of infrastructure. Let's debate our records. I am willing to present myself for a debate with President Nana Akufo-Addo any day, anytime, anywhere.
We'll hear from him as he continues his tour of the Volta region and get the very latest from President Akufo-Addo's tour of the Central region as the party prepares to launch its manifesto there this weekend. WAEC rejects blame for leaked examination questions as it mounts strong defense on its handling of the ongoing WASI.
We have not heard that anything has leaked. So if you say the list, the papers, I don't know what you're talking about. If you talk about the fact that the examiner's list has gone out, yes. But when you talk about leakage of papers, no.
We have more as the Ghana National Association of Teachers kicks against cancellation of papers as a way of dealing with persistent exams leakages over the years.
It's just not enough to say that you are cancelling the examination papers. There should be a thorough investigation into all that and get to the root cause of the issue.
And will attempt to write exams whether leaked or not. And as another fire outbreak ravages homes and displaces residents in the Ashanti regional town of Kase, we interrogate the cause of recent fires in the country within a week.
If one person can do this and that's away with it, the government will stand up.
And in sports,
veteran football administrator Intofianko questions the timing of the Ghana Football Association Congress slated for September 1st.
And later in the bulletin,
it's been my interest to teach it for people to understand. So I started teaching it until I believed Jesus. So I had never experienced anything in.
And as we continue our series on celebrating movie stars who are venturing into other sectors far removed from acting, we'll put the spotlight today on actor 10 Pastor Majid Michel. You want to stay for that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apawu. And this is your election headquarters. We start off from the Volta region where flag bearer of the opposition NDC, John Dramani Mahama, has thrown a challenge to President Akufo-Addo to a debate on the record of their government, especially in the area of infrastructure. It comes after Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's data-driven presentation to argue that the Akufo-Addo government has undertaken infrastructural projects in excess of 17,000. According to him, this is better than what was provided by the opposition NDC in its 8 years in office. But addressing residents in the Ketu South constituency yesterday as part of his 4-day tour of the Volta region, former President Mahama said a debate will bring a conclusion to the matter.
In 2016, when I was talking about the value of infrastructure, my friends on the other side said, we don't eat infrastructure. We don't eat roads. That was what they said. Today I can see a scramble to grab even KVIPs and any infrastructure and tout it as an achievement. But it's easy to settle the issue of infrastructure. After all, the president said this election is going to be an election of track records. Comparing his track record to my track record, we can settle it easily. Let's have a debate between two of us, the two presidents. Let Nana Akufo-Addo come and sit down. Let me sit down. And let's debate our records. I am willing to present myself for a debate with President Nana Akufo-Addo any day, anytime, anywhere. And we will settle the matter once and for all.
That's former President Mahama, and of course our platform is ready for any such debates. But let's get an update on the former president's tour, and correspondent Ivy Setoji joins us with more. So Ivy, I know that today is the final day of the former president's tour in the Volta region, but bring us up to speed on where he's been and where the tour has taken him.
Well, currently he's been to Chito, Nyawase, and then right now he just finished speaking with the chiefs and people of Peki Blengo, where he has been telling them about job creation, free technical and vocational education. The chiefs have also been telling him about the need to finish some projects. The Peki Hospital, for example, is in a very deplorable state, and the chiefs want it to be rehabilitated, as well as some schools, and they also need a technical school in the area. And so right now we are moving to Pando, and then we continue from here. So basically the president has been talking about job creation and projects that have been abandoned by the MPP, and the fact that if he wins, is going to make sure that all those projects are completed, especially the Eastern Corridor Road.
And that's my colleague Ivy Setoji. The former president has been to Peki Blenko and then all the way to Hohoi. From there we're told he's heading to the Oti region. Now we'll stay a while longer in the Volta region because President of National House of Chiefs Togbe Afede has raised concerns over what he says is the abandonment of key road projects in the Volta region and joblessness resulting from the collapse of financial institutions. Now he made these comments when the NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama paid a courtesy call on him yesterday. Mr. Afede said it is refreshing for the former president to give the people of the Volta region some hope as he campaigns to get voted for his second term.
The abandonment of some of the projects that have been ongoing in our traditional area. Typical example is the whole Accra Road, particularly the stretch running right in front of my private residence, which spews a lot of dust onto the properties in the environment or in the community. Poverty is our lot. People are not happy, and indeed our situation has been worsened by joblessness. That is the result of the bank closures. It's very refreshing to hear you try to give us hope, the hope that we all need. Unfortunately, some of our leaders are so conditioned by privilege that to them exclusivity is only bad if they are not the beneficiaries of the spoils. But we indeed are all the same people, similar needs, similar rights under the Constitution. We saw a lot of its effects in the recent voter registration exercise. Apart from the invasion of our borders and the villages and towns that we suffered in the Volta region, we also are aware about the plight of non-indigents in other Ghanaian communities.
That's the Agbogbo Mafia of the Asogli state. He's also the president of the National House of Chiefs, Togbe Afede, the 14th. Now let's head to the central region where President Akufo-Addo is cutting sword for the construction of the Elmina fishing landing site. The fish landing site is expected to boost the fishing industry and create more jobs for the people. Regional correspondent Richard Kojonyako is following the president. He joins us on the line. Prior to getting to the Elmina fishing landing site, where has the president been? Bring us up to speed on his tour.
Well, so the 3-day tour started actually at Elmina, and so from Elmina, the president will be going to Chifupasu to inspect the bridge and then other projects that are there. So currently, we are there, and shortly, the short cutting would be done. The fisheries minister has been speaking of infrastructure for the fisheries sector, and she said that landing site, fishing harbour, training institutions, improved processing facilities and hatcheries would be put in place to ensure that the fishing sector is transformed. She also announced that the Anmabu Fisheries College is done and admissions will commence anytime soon. The president is yet to speak, but we have been speaking with the chief fisherman of Elmina. He's been telling us that they are thankful to the president for the gesture of giving them outboard motors and then appealed for some dredging to be done in the lagoon.
Nanda Akufo-Addo Amampeni no post all this shit Ghana many Who win the Olympics? Isi I am the daughter, and I'm only a son of the official. I am a DJ, I am a number friend, and now what do you pick out to make a I think I will start.
Well, now, Richard, that's the chief fisherman, but we also know that this weekend the NPP will be launching its manifesto in the region, it's Cape Coast to be precise. What are the preparations so far?
Well, so the University of Cape Coast, the event venue, has been decorated with the flags of the MPP. And so everywhere you pass at the University of Cape Coast, and even in the Cape Coast Township, the flags and then the paraphernalia of the MPP is dominating heavily. People are expecting a lot of things from the MPP as they launch their manifesto here, talking about infrastructure, about tourism. You know, Cape Coast has been described as a tourism hub, and in education as well. The fisheries sector, people expect that should be dominating in the manifesto that is yet to be launched. And so that is what people are really expecting from the MPP.
That's a regional correspondent, Richard Kojonyako. We're still in the election headquarters. This time, government says it has provided the needed resources for the Ghana Police Service to ensure that the 2020 elections is peaceful. Earlier today, Interior Minister Ambrose Derrick has sought for the construction of a formed police unit headquarters and International Relations Directorate Office complex for the Ghana Police Service. Now, he told journalists government has performed its end of the bargain and expects the selection to be violent-free.
What we have done, the government has done, is to provide what we have done for the police is unprecedented. When we came into power, most of the police vehicles were less than 400 and they were not functional. Now you know, they themselves have got about 700 vehicles. We have established 2 wings, air wing and canine wing for the dogs. We've trained young men in South Africa. They are passed out as pilots and we're waiting to deploy that. And you've just seen another level of support, providing them the support to build the office complex to be able to make the international directorate and the APU efficient. So what we are doing is providing the funding. And I think we did, and we are going to continue providing the funding. The President's commitment is for a free and peaceful election.
Interior Minister Ambrose Derrick. Now, the Inspector General of Police, James Opombwenu, has meanwhile commended government for its support, assuring the police will make use of facilities provided to improve its work.
This is indeed a dream come true, as our challenge in the area of pre-deployment training at the expense of other institutions will be addressed effectively when the project is finally completed. I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to the government on behalf of the police administration and the officers and men of the Ghana Police Service. We are grateful for the continuous support that we are getting. To the President of our Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, his vice, and who also happens to be the chairman of the Police Council, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, our Honorable Minister, we indeed owe you a debt of gratitude for your unflinching support.
Next, the Inspector General of Police, James Opombwenu. And that's it for election-related matters here on the Midday News. On to some other stories now. The West African Examination Council says it cannot be blamed for mass leakages of exams questions on social media as it mounts a spirited defense and touts a strict security protocols before and after the printing of exams questions. Responding to growing calls and concerns from the general public and some stakeholders in the education sector about the leakage of some questions in the ongoing WASI, Head of Public Relations Agnes Tekujo said WAEC can only take responsibility for the leaked contact details of examiners and not the questions. She spoke earlier in an interview with Roland Walker on the AM show.
I think that with the issue of the examiners, it was circulated on social media, and we need to find out how we got there. That will help us with our investigation, because if it is from an in-house, so I think we want to get to the fact.
Now, at the West African Examination Council, is it the first time that there has been this mass leakage of papers?
I will not accept what you're saying, because we have not said that anything has leaked. So if you say the papers, I don't know what you're talking about. If you talk about the fact that the examiner's list has gone out, yes. But when you talk about leakage of papers, no.
That's Agnes Tekojo. She speaks for the West African Examination Council, WAEG. Now, the National Association of NAGRAT, graduate teachers, I beg your pardon, NAGRAT earlier called for the national probe into the leakage of exam papers. The minority in Parliament is also calling for the cancellation of the leaked questions. But President of Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, Philippa Larson, says cancelling the questions does not address the annual ritual. We'll hear from her shortly. But what do you make of this phenomenon, popularly known as APO, and how do we deal with it? We sampled some views on the streets.
Because of APO now, students don't really learn to, face their exams. So I think it's no good. It's really spoiling our students rather than equipping them to do what they're expected to do.
I think APO is very good, and it helps the students know exactly what to expect in their exams. Because it's not everything that you can remember, especially for the senior high students who are supposed to recollect from Form 1 to Form 3. But if you go to the tertiary institutions, what you learn for the semester is what comes. So it's better when the students know the topics to expect, and then it guides them as to what they should learn.
I see APO to be something which is not good. I know a lot of students who want APO just to pass exams, but then we have to learn. That is it. And if you learn, you'll be able to.
Those are your views here on the streets of Accra. We can now hear from the president of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, Philippa Larson, who doesn't agree with cancelling leaked papers.
Where examination papers have leaked, and all we have done is just to cancel the examination papers. Now, there are certain things that we have to look at. Once we do, or once we cancel examination papers, we should know that all these things go with cost, the financial implications, the time, labor, and all that. And so it's just not enough to say that you are cancelling the examination papers. There should be a thorough investigation into all that and get to the root cause of the issue. It is something that we have to kill. It's not just a matter of cancelling the papers. And people will have to be brought to book. People who are found culpable will have to be punished. Over the years, we have not had any information about people who, from wherever, who have had hand in it and have been punished. And I think this is the time we all have to look at it and do the right thing, get to the root cause of it, and punish people so that we kill this thing once and for all.
Philippa Larson is president of NAT. We know that the cybersecurity unit of the Ghana Police Service is currently investigating the matter following growing demands for a bipartisan probe into the matter, the latest being the Ghana National Education Campaign Coalition, GNEC. Now we move on to health at this point, because there's nothing like reduced contact tracing. Nobody has stopped it. That's according to the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji. Now he was responding to claims of lessened testing and tracing efforts that may have contributed to Ghana's active COVID-19 cases, which are now below 2,000. Dr. Abaje was speaking at a press briefing by the Ministry of Information earlier today.
There is nothing like reduced contact tracing. Our contact tracing is that if I am positive, you test my contact. Okay? If you have 2,000 positives, you are likely to have more contacts to follow than if you have 100 cases. So it's not like you have a certain number of contacts you must always look for. It depends on the number of contacts you have to follow. And also those who have something that will be tested. So that's what determines how many contacts you follow. You can also look at risk group, which we continue to do, and add them up. So there's no magic number that you must do, for example, 5,000 contacts or so a day. It depends on what you have the previous day and what response you are going to get. In the area of, so nobody has stopped contact tracing. If you have positive and you have 4 contacts, unlike before when we wait for those 4 contacts to fall sick or have something before testing. Now we test them immediately, and that's what has given us the large number of tests that we're doing.
So Dr. Abuaji also expressed concern about what he describes as the disturbing phenomenon of crowding and poor usage of face masks among sports fans, especially those that gather to watch the ongoing UEFA Champions League.
Well, we have also observed something that is happening. In Ghana, we are not playing football. But we have a lot of people who go and mass up on television watching Champions League. Okay, and so it's another area that we want to bring to the attention of that. Even in that area, people must ensure that they must wear a social distancing. Otherwise, you might as well start playing our own football. It's very important that we also look at that so that anything that sort of brings any mass gathering, we must ensure both the organizers and the individual must take that responsibility to ensure that they are applying those things. But if you save yourself, you protect everybody else.
That's the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji. Now, scouting for sheer nuts is a tedious and sometimes dangerous chore, but this is the activity children of school-going age at Gbon community in the northeast Gonja municipality of Savannah region have been engaging in to raise money to cater for their needs. Northern Regional Correspondent Martina Bugri has been following their journey of survival as the country gradually emerges from the COVID-19 pandemic.
We normally move from tree to tree to collect the share, bring it home and process it. I use it to buy my books, uniform and sandals. It is not easy because of the danger of snake and scorpion, but we have to do it to stay in school.
Baba Amiam, the father of the children, said the children cannot be home and not work. He said even though they are young, the work will strengthen them.
A human being cannot just live without working, so they need to work to make some income to buy their personal belongings. They may be young, but this is the only way you can train them. If you keep saying they are young, you will not benefit from them. When they struggle, and I also struggle, we put it together, then it will solve some problems. Their colleagues travel for kaya, but they don't.
Kande Husseini, the mother of the children, said they are poor and unable to buy books and other needs of the children. She said they are not happy allowing their children to go into the bush, but they do not have an option.
That's Martina Bugri's report from the Savannah region. Well, this is the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. Stories you've missed so far. NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama challenges President Akufo-Addo to a debate on the record of their government, especially in the area of infrastructure. Also, WAEC has been rejecting blame for leaked examination questions as it mounts a strong defense on its handling of the ongoing WASI. When we return, we have sports, and also as another fire outbreak ravages homes and displaces residents in the Ashanti regional town of Kase, we interrogate the cause of recent fires in the country within a week.
If one person can do this, and that's the way we think, the government should stand up.
And as we continue our series of celebrating movie stars who are venturing into other sectors far removed from acting, we'll put the spotlight on actor 10 Pastor Majid Michel.
It's been my interest to teach it for people to understand. So I started teaching it until I believed Jesus, so I had never experienced anything.
The European domestic football action is heading for a big finish as the 2020 UEFA Champions League takes center stage. It's all on the line as Man City, PSG, Barcelona, Juventus, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid face off in an action-packed mini-tournament. Catch it live on SuperSport from the 7th of August. Get DSTV and find out who will be crowned champions of Europe.
Oh my goodness, you cannot write the script for this. This is unbelievable stuff.
Thanks for staying with the best. It's time for sports with Hans Mensando.
And a veteran football administrator in Tofianko has questioned the timing of the Ghana Football Association Congress, which is slated for the 1st of September. The same day, the Court of Arbitration for Sport will release its verdict in the matter between Wilfred Osekwe-Kupama and the FA. Mr. Fianko believes the CAS verdict will take attention away from the GFA Congress.
Why not do it 2nd September, which is Wednesday? But why did you choose 1st September of 4 days? The day that people, the whole country, even that day, previous day, that day, the sun didn't shine. People were kept in suspense. People were worried because of cause, panic, or which of course there was no element of truth. People had not seen any judgment. Were quoting from judgment that this is a summary of the judgment, which was a palpable force. I would say it was nonsensical. It was a palpable false because we have not seen the judgment. You were quoting. So what source were you quoting from? The same thing will happen on that day. So if you are going to do amendment, which is a serious business, end of year, and people have called for amendments, all these things, there will be proposal, counter proposals, we discuss their provision and vote on it, and people out there will be fidgeting their phones, knowing what has happened in CAS. Would there be also concentration on the business for the day? The answer is no.
Okay.
The media, if for instance the Clement phase to come, some of the media will go to us awaiting the results. Even the media will be at the Congress. Their concentration will be what is happening in CAS.
Mr. Intofianko, they're speaking on the scheduling of the Ghana Football Association Congress for the 1st of September.
We look forward to that verdict. And that's it for sports. Now, even before fire service officials conclude investigations into the cause of fire outbreaks, which would destroy several properties at Shashi last week, another fire outbreak has displaced some residents in the Ashanti region. Now, scores of people, including a young mother with a 2-week-old baby, were affected by the blaze, which ravaged a settlement at Kasi in Kumasi today. The situation has triggered concerns about the cause of the sudden fires. Here's a news desk report.
Last week, residents of a slum community in Shashi here in Accra woke up to their properties destroyed following a fire outbreak there. More than 200 of them were displaced following the incident. They have demanded justice and want to know the cause of the fire and the perpetrator dealt with.
We were crying. Our children don't have dress to wear. So if one person can do this, and the person will get away with it, the government will stand up.
On Wednesday dawn, several items, including a brand new car, went up in flames after fire broke out at Letabi-Okoshi, a suburb of Accra. There, a gentleman who's just secured a 30,000 cedi loan for the purchase of a new taxi was shattered as he watched his vehicle destroyed in the blaze.
This is what has happened to me, and I don't know what to do even. I have sisters, I have children, I have brothers. My father is no more, and I have mother and cousins too. They are all depending on me.
In the central business district of Takoradi in the western region, it took the Ghana National Fire Service close to 5 hours to fight a fire outbreak which destroyed several shops. And just this morning, scores of people, including a mother with a 2-week-old baby, have been displaced as fire ravaged a settlement at Kasi in the Ashanti region. The fire is believed to have been caused by the siphoning of fuel at a retail point.
That was the news desk report. Let's go quickly to Erastus Asari Donko on the latest fire in Kasi. Tell us a bit more about it, Erastus.
Well, so we are looking at more than 50 people who are sitting in front of the ravaged area with no place to go, including this mother who is holding the 2-week-old baby with no place to lay her head. I've been speaking with ACFO Ngwa, Joseph Ngwa, who is the regional fire commander, and he says findings point to the siphoning of fuel, as they call it.
Information gathered confirmed that there was some siphoning that was going on, and that's where the fire started. But fortunately for them, the tanker involved left. So we got there because of the nature of the occupancy there, that is the wooden structures that were there, and the area is prone to the high wind speed. So that made sure that the fire had to spread at a very big, large area.
Now, let's bring in the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Fire Service, Ellis Robinson Oko. We're grateful for your time, sir. So the Fire Service has stated that the increased activities in urban areas is accounting for these fires. How so?
Yes. Yes, and we've realized that urbanization is a big factor in the current fires that are happening. We realize that most of these fires are happening in urban areas, and the 3 most important causes of fires are ignorance, negligence, and carelessness. And so when these factors come into play, then we're going to have fire outbreaks.
Okay.
We realize that.
Well, we've recorded a number of these fires. We've had the case of the EC officer, Payman. What exactly happened? I'm sure your preliminary investigations must have revealed something.
We are still working on it. We are still working on the causes of all these fires, and we don't have any official cause or official report now.
Okay. Well, that's Robinson Ellis Oko. He's the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service. Becky has spotlight.
Yes, today, Emefa, we continue
I spotlight on movie stars who are venturing into other fields of work. And today we have Majid Michelle.
Marcia, are you enjoying the pub?
Born to an actor father and father-in-law, he knew sooner than later he would venture into entertainment and acting. Majid Michelle's interest in acting grew as he was actively involved in the drama club of his high school, Infantipim School, for which he was awarded Best Actor. Majid began his acting career when he snagged the role of Sheka in the successful TV series Things We Do for Love. Following his success, Majid made a smooth transition to the big screen when he appeared in his first movie, Divine Love, alongside Jackie Appiah and Van Vika.
Baby, I know, relax. Out of sight doesn't necessarily mean out of mind. Okay? I'll communicate with you every day. I'll call you always and just listen to your pretty voice.
On the heels of the success of his first, Majid starred in one hit movie after another. Michelle made his Nigerian Nollywood debut in 2009 romantic drama Emerald, playing a leading role alongside Genevieve Inaji.
If you push me any further to this war, you will have to answer the consequences. I love Emerald, and anyone who tries to hurt her as much as with words will have me to answer to, and that includes you.
He won several awards, including Best Actor for the African Movie Academy Award and Nigerian Entertainment Award.
What is it with you people like God? Does he know what it takes to lack potable water?
We miss him on the screens. We hope that he will come back, and we're hoping.
And God is also using him for greater good. Impacting a lot of lives. Yeah. Thank you, Becky. And that's it for the Midday News. You're on Joy 99.7 FM. More news, log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu. I'll be right back with Living Word.